Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenade from Pompu, eliminating everybody on the field.
Now between something as well is going to be applied as that plus and it's going to be huge. Fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the four-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to some more Tranquility action. Tonight we've got a matchup in our Transcendence tier. That's our Masters tier for anybody that doesn't know, but you know, probably I assume most of y'all do know. It's gonna be Frost Nova at 4-1 versus Eternal Blue at 3-2 bars. And tonight I am joined by PhevieWonder. How you feeling?
I'm doing wonderful, Fletch. I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be a fantastic time. Both these teams did pretty solid in Stage 1. They're going into first match of Stage 2. Really excited to see what they bring here. Really excited going into our first map.
Yeah, we are coming into the latter half of the season now. It's getting pretty late here. Our first map gonna be Lijiang Tower. So what kind of stuff are you expecting to see here on Lijiang, Phoebe?
Unfortunately, I haven't seen too much of Transcendence Tier, so I'm not quite sure how well or what these two teams play. But I do know that Colossus, Lost Sauce from Eternal Blue, they played a lot of the Reinhardt Brawl last season. I'm pretty excited to maybe see some more of that, bring some more of the Ryan, get some nice shatters going through here. Frost Nova, I'm interested to see what they do. I haven't seen many of them yet, but I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I honestly would not be surprised at all. Reinhardt, in and of itself, even like separated from Lijiang Tower, I feel like Reinhardt is actually in probably one of the best states he's been in since Overwatch 2 came out. So it really wouldn't be, it would be not surprising to see Reinhardt on even outside of Lijiang Tower here, and it does look like we're getting to go in here pretty quickly. And I mean, yeah, it should be a lot of fun here. I mean, Frost Nova at 4-1 have had a very good season thus far. You know, I don't actually I don't have the team that they lost to off the dome right now, but you know, they're 4-1. Your credit to them, they're 4-1. One loss is this far in the season, not too bad. Eternal Blue at 3-2 as well. You know, that's not too bad either. But as we get into the map here, we're gonna see what these teams are gonna run out on.
Yep, it looks like we are on Garden first, I believe. So this is something where if we are going to see something that isn't Reinhardt from Eternal Blue, this would probably be the map that you see it on. As I say that, they're rolling out on the Rhine Sim Brawl. Really exciting for that. Lost Sauce actually getting a role star last season in Discord, mainly for his Lucio play, so I'm really excited to see that out on the stream today. Frost Nova going with more of a pokey style, still running a Lucio maybe. We have a little bit of time to see if they change it, but interested to see how the Sigma plays into this Rhine Brawl.
Yeah, so as we get in here, I'm sure Eternal Blue gonna be the first team to get on the point. The TP through the window is good. Gonna get that early positioning here, and the fight has begun here between Frost Nova and Eternal Blue. Hatter just off on that off angle from the coast, trying to get some damage in, but it's gonna be Arsene that starts it out here on to Yeti. The Bastion duel has gone in the way of Arsene. The point might not, but for the moment, they're gonna get the touch, but they'll let the flip go through. They're just gonna let the power of the Sigma from Fard over there overtake the backside of Colossus, and it's not looking good for the health of Eternal Blue. As Colossus goes down, so do the rest. That will be Frost Nova taking over once they're able to take down. Now Sai is the only one left, and that will be Frost Nova fight win there.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, you know, losing a key part of your comp that early on in a fight makes it really hard to try to sustain through. They were able to get lamped out really early on the side of Eternal Blue, and it was just so hard after that, but they're coming in with ults now. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Sai building up to that wall very, very quickly. So that tool has been expended very, very quickly, as has the window from Op Freeze. So we'll see if they can come up with anything, but Arsene comes up with 2! Colossus and Sai get hell rained on them from above, and Momo with 2! Momo with 2 on the boot!
Oh my goodness.
And that's gonna be another fight win for Frost Nova as Yeti throws themselves off the map.
That's really unfortunate. That first and second fight is probably Eternal Blue's best. They have a lot of really quick ults that build up very fast, and they had the ult advantage going in. But they used 4 of their ults very first fight. They only have Shatter coming up on another Bastion ult.
Hippy is gonna come through. Op Freeze and gang will be behind them, and Sai able to clean up Arsene to start the fight here as the beat comes from Momo. Try and make the rest of Frost Nova a little more durable, but it's just not enough as Colossus swinging that big old hammer, taking down 2, and now I'm sure it's just Momo left in the rafters, and that is gonna do it. A flip back to Eternal Blue at just under 80% here.
That was a really nice fight by Eternal Blue. Didn't cost them a single ult. They were able to get three of them out of Frost Nova, and they look really solid going into this, coming up on 3 of their own into this upcoming fight.
Yeah, and here we see the power of, I believe this is OBSAquarium. I'll talk to y'all a little bit about OBSAquarium app in a little bit, but the window gonna get thrown out by Op Freeze, as does the Shatter from Colossus, and together those ultimates are good to take down everybody. And that it'll just be Hatter left alive, gonna be able to grab the Mega, but you know, able to get out here.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. You know, the Echo wasn't quite in position for an early pick-off. That's going to be the real big fight winner, I think. And they were just kind of able to get collapsed on from the 4 of them that were in white. But we're going to see how this goes in now. Bastion to start it off.
Yeah, it'll be Yeti starting us off here, and Hatter's behind with the duplicate on to the Bastion. And they find some kills with this double Bastion composition. There's a 1 It'll be Lost Sauce, but Fard getting super unhealthy. Arston able to clean up one of their own. The flip is going to go towards Frost Nova, and it's not looking the best for Eternal Blue at the moment, as they're going to be hard-pressed to get into the fight here.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire, definitely. You see a couple swaps in for the touch, try to stall out. Colossus on the Winston, Yeti on the Tracer. They have one ult coming up on a second ult, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough.
Frost Nova unloading everything in their arsenal at the moment, and not having found anything just yet. Everybody on Eternal Blue is low, however. Beat out from Momo to keep the team durable and healthy just a little while longer, and Hatter is going to be the one that starts us off and ends us off here, as that is going to do it for Gardens, and Frost Nova going to go up 1-0.
I got really worried there for a second for Frost. I think Shid Fard had just barely missed on the flux, but they were able to still clean up that fight really well.
Yeah, and if y'all are curious about why we have a camera that says OBSAquarium, one of our observers is actually our good friend Doors Fish. So that's what you're seeing right there in the corner right above Colossus. Is those are Doors Fish that are operating an observer spot tonight. We're testing some stuff out for them. So I think that's really kind of funny.
Oh my gosh. We do see the Rymir here. Frost Nova is on the Symmetra, so they're going to be able to get early setup. Eternal Blue, they have the mace, so looking a lot more for the pick potential if Fard walks too close away from his team. Or we get into this first fight.
Yeah, it'll be an okay wall there for Psy. But everybody is going to be able to get around the Immortality Field, able to keep Fard alive for now. The Reinhardt did get really low with Yeti behind them, and it's going to be the first flip actually toward Eternal Blue here, but Hatter going to get a trade here onto Lost Sauce. They do go down, but it's going to be, wow, a really scrappy fight here for both teams as Psy looks to try and keep this alive, as it's just the supports for Frost Nova left, as the reinforcements are coming for Eternal Blue. The Frost Nova supports opt to get out here.
Yeah, really good decision to get on that fight. Make sure you can regroup early, get a nice quick recontest in here. That fight was scrappier than a Junkyard, man, but it looks like they're coming in with some ults.
Yeah, the window out, it took Fard very low, but not able to find that pick there, as it's going to be actually the other Reinhardt that goes down first in Colossus. All the ultimates are being used, the Shatter, the Blizzard, the Airstrike from Yeti. Those two for Eternal Blue are not going to do enough, and that's going to be a flip towards Frost Nova.
That was really nice. That really quick recontest really helped them. It's less than half the percentage needed for each. Very nice there. They're set up for a nice choke point right here. I'm not sure how Eternal Blue is going to be able to get through. Let me speed through. Oh, just like that. I stand corrected.
Yeah, so the window comes out early from Op Freeze, and Momo using the beat in response. We are going to see the airstrike come out from Hatter, force out Lost Sauce's beat, and now the only support ultimate left on the field is Mimi's, and it comes out here. Everybody is in a lot of danger behind that window when a Bastion is there, so you know, a good job being able to kite that ultimate there. But they're all shoved into a locker right now. The Shatter comes out. Can't see. I think it definitely hit Psy, but not going to be able to get a cleanup on it as the Blizzard comes out to push Frost Nova back. However, this fight is very far from being over. The Shatter comes out, only hits Mimi, but it's only gonna be a death sentence for Colossus, who goes down to Hatter. Hatter falls after the pick there, but I mean, this is a really scrappy fight, and Eternal Blue are down some resources as Frost Nova, Arsene dropping the window, and now Eternal Blue having to play a little safer here.
Yep. Eternal Blue, very lucky they weren't able to get picked off before Colossus could return. Looking for their jockeying for position right now. Very nice wall. A few separate fights in here, actually. Very nice flank from Arsene.
Yeah, Arsene on a great flank, finding 2, finding 3, and that's going to be it. Frost Nova takes Lijiang Tower in pretty dominant fashion.
Yep, that definitely looked much cleaner than the first point there. Truly very well played from Frost Nova, Eternal Blue as well. But some of those quick recontests, they weren't getting staggered at all. They were able to land key ults and clutch moments. Just really nice. Ah, that boop was just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, and you know what else was fantastic to watch? The synergy that Frost Nova had on the Reinhardt comp. I mean, it just looked better. I mean, I like the idea of a Mei that Eternal Blue were running, but I feel like if you're gonna run a Reinhardt comp, it needs to be with the Symmetra. That's just the general idea that most teams running the Reinhardt have right now. It makes the Reinhardt a lot more mobile, and by proxy, a lot scarier. Because you'll never know when the giant German man with a big old hammer is going to be right behind you. So you know the Mei has its merits, but we saw that Arsene on the Symmetra overpower Eternal Blue a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately when you're running the Mei, especially on that map, you're not able to get to that server room at the same time as a team that has the Symmetra. So it's really hard to be able to get in there when you're facing down turrets all above you. You're getting spammed down by Bastion, by Symmetra, by Fire Strikes. So it's really hard to contest that. Possibly if they had maybe gone to point instead and played off the pillar in the middle for a Mei wall, they might have stood a little bit of a better shot there, maybe get a few more fights in the beginning, but they just weren't able to. Wasn't quite up to spec.
Yeah, and with that now, it will be Eternal Blue's map pick, and it'll be on Hybrid. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about Eternal Blue to know where we might go here on Hybrid. But, I mean, they looked all right on the Sigma. I mean, it wasn't terrible, and they will probably be opting to run the Sigma here as we're going to be going to Midtown. So, not a bad choice if you want to run that Sigma.
Yep, I think this is a pretty nice choice. You don't really get into that sort of Devo Winston dive that you might see on, some of the other maps. I think this is a really solid choice here. I just feel like it's going to be able to suit their playstyle pretty well. They tend to have a little bit more flexibility. You saw some more stuff out of them compared to Frost Nova. Quite interested to see how they decide to play this, though.
Yeah, I almost expect Frost Nova to be running the Reinhardt here. But it will be interesting to see how Eternal Blue is going to be able to adapt to the Reinhardt, because, I don't want to say 100% the Reinhardt comps are going to counter the Sigma comps out, but that's the general gist that I've been getting from the Overwatch that I've watched recently, is that the Reinhardt is just, it's bully ball. You just walk forward and knock people down, and Sigma, other than spacing the enemy out, doesn't really have a way to counter that.
Yep, I really agree with you. When you're running into a Reinhardt comp, especially when it has something like a Sim Bastion, you want to be able to wait out the Bastion shift, but if you do that, the Sim's going to get into full charge before you're able to really take that fight. And it's just a lose-lose situation unless you completely disengage. Really interested to see what they roll out on, though.
Yeah, and it'll be the Sigma for Frost Nova here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm psyching myself out. It's going to be a Sigma comp for Frost Nova. And Eternal Blue coming out on what looks to be a Junker Queen rush. So a little bit different here for Eternal Blue. Trying to adapt, and Fard opting for the Sigma once again. We'll see how this is going to run here.
Yeah, I am really interested to see how this is run. They do have, again, like some solid spam. They have some really good poke too on the side of Frost Nova with the rail shot. Anti-nade to help stall out some of these fights, make sure that they collapse onto the Sigma very quickly.
And I mean, they have to play their space for Frost Nova, and Eternal Blue has to get up in their face. That's the whole thing that Junker Queen does. I mean, it's the same as Reinhardt. So it's gonna be the shout here out from Colossus that starts us out, but Sai had the deflect, but just walked right into Hatter, and Hatter's gonna stop this fight before it even begins.
Yeah, that really is the issue that you run into when you're running the Junker Queen. You do have some extra mobility, try to get through that small little choke point into the fire station, but while you're in that little alleyway, it's free shooting for something like a Sojourn with her Disruptor shot, Bastion shift into turret form with the Sigma, even an anti-nade. Everything in such a small area is just so hard to be able to contest that on something that doesn't really have as much sustain.
And Colossus making an adaptation here, gonna come back out on the Orisa here, already so low, having to play so safe. I mean, that's not what you want to see from you from the Orisa, is getting blown up that fast. But Frost Nova just have so much spam, and you're gonna see it right there. Colossus goes down early once again to a shot from Arsene, and Eternal Blue back on the run here. And I mean, the fights just keep ending before they can begin.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You know, you do have a lot of ults coming up on the side of Eternal Blue. They're coming up on the overclock. They have the window. They have the beat to be able to counter out that flux. But on the other side, Frost Nova is coming up on 5. So it's just so hard to see if they can win this with the early windows coming through right here.
Yeah, well, the window from Mimi is not going to get any value as Colossus shoved them off the top of that fire engine, but it will be Arsene coming out here starting us off. Yeti going to get a trade with the railgun shot, but I mean, Frost Nova are just looking like the better team right now. Like, there's nothing that Eternal Blue can do to break this defense at the moment.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate. You can see that they're trying to figure out some different stuff to play. Colossus again switching, not able to get the Terra up in time. So they're only really going to have just this Genji Blade going into this next fight against a Nano, an Overclock. But they got another 10 seconds to, you know, get a little bit of passive ult charge, get some poke in here. I'm really not sure how they're going to break through this right now.
I mean, okay, so the Rock and the Airstrike combo comes out from Frost Nova. Colossus able to eat up most of those rockets. But, I mean, there's just so much spam damage down this choke for Frost Nova that, you know, Eternal Blue just can't be comfortable. The shot goes a little bit wide right there for Yeti as the blade comes out, and a rock from Fard is going to be too much as the Nano Overclock from Arsene gonna get some work done of their own, and it's just I mean, it's just a never-ending barrage of damage from Frost Nova. And I mean, we're gonna see now Sai going Tracer to try and get a retouch here. But oh my goodness, what a sleep by Momo. They get the touch, but no fade for Op Freeze here, and that is going to be a full hold for for Frost Nova, sorry. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if anybody died on the side of Frost Nova. I can't remember a time anyone died.
I believe Yeti was able to get a very quick pick on the
Oh no,
Sojourn.
you're right.
With that hero overclock there. Unfortunately, when you use that and you're the last one in the fight, it really just it gives you less value for the next fight. You don't have that going in. You're not be able to get off the full amount that you can when you're just alone in that hero situation. But going into the second half, Frost Nova has a lot of time to work with to get a single tick.
Yeah, and now they're not messing around, coming out on the Sigma here now for Eternal Blue. Momo and Mimi coming out on something. They had that last round, didn't they? I mean,
They
the
did.
double flex support could be good. A lot of healing and quite a bit of damage out of the support line there. This is going to be a full 100% mirror by both teams, and I'm going to be honest with you. I favor Frost Nova in the mirror.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen Eternal Blue roll out on this exact comp, so maybe this is what they were planning from the start. Trying to find a way to bunker the Bastion, keep him alive as much as possible, be able to land as many real shots as possible as well. They do have the spam, so Frost Nova's in the same exact position. But they also planned on running this comp anyway, so they know how to play it and what its weaknesses are.
Now Colossus under a lot of pressure already gets that little bit of healing that they needed, but I mean everything is going away, especially Hatter's HP, as Colossus gonna find the orbs there to kill the Bastion and put Frost Nova back into spawn for just a little bit here. And I mean, a couple of people on the side of Frost Nova are just out of position painfully, and Momo and Arsene are just no chance of getting out there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate when half your team is able to make it across, but the other half gets picked off. So you're just kind of stuck there in that limbo, waiting to see if they actually sniff you out. In this case, Eternal Blue were able to help get some solid staggers by solid 15 seconds there. But now they're going back into this neutral position.
Yeah, Fard is anteed up here, able to eat the grenade thrown out by Sai, but Sai finds another early pick here on to Hatter. The Bastion right now from the side of Frost Nova just, getting punished these past couple of fights, not able to find the damage you want.
Yep. Eternal Blue are really playing this really well. They're coming up on a lot of ults that Frost Nova quite isn't ready for quite yet. They have a solid 40 to 50% advantage with the airstrike. Pop the window early. That's going to be another 10 seconds that Frost Nova has to wait out, hoping that they don't get picked off here. I'm interested to see what they do now that the window is gone, though.
Both teams building up to just about 4 ultimates here. So we'll see what they can do. The Flux going to come out from Colossus. And Colossus with 2 on the Flux. The Nano Boost is no good on Fard, and that is going to be another dominant fight win here. Favored Frost Nova in the full mirror here, but Eternal Blue happy to prove me wrong, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, Colossus just had an absolute hero play. Fard was able to knock out that Bastion out of the airstrike, cancel that entire ult before he could get a single shot off, and then Colossus just retaliates with a perfect Gravitic Flux there. Now they have everyone pinched into this alley just like we were seeing on the other side. And it's going to be so hard to try to poke them through.
Oh! Perfect cleanup there on Anti from Yeti. Sai will go down here from the damage of the Gravitic Flux. And I mean, the ultimates are coming out from the side of Eternal Blue. Colossus and Yeti still alive and fighting here. And it's just too overwhelming for the side of Eternal Blue, and 30 seconds from a draw, it will be Frost Nova going up 2-0 in our series.
Oh, you really hate to see it. Eternal Blue were playing that so well. But finally, Frost Nova were able to get through that choke point with minimal casualties. They were able to stock up on ults. Really excellent play. They were able to punish, get the Bastion ult, get everyone really low. Then there wasn't really an answer to the Flux after that. Just really excellently done from Frost Nova. Eternal Blue were so close to that draw, though.
Yeah, they were. I mean, and you know, credit to them. They, you know, if this was what Frost Nova wanted was the Sigma, and Eternal Blue almost stuck it to them. And you know, almost doesn't really matter. You lost the map, but if I'm Eternal Blue, I'm taking that map and saying, hey, you know, not great on the attack, the defense looking very, very good here. So if you can shore up the attack, you know, maybe we've got a series here. But for now, we're going to go to a break for just a few minutes. We'll be back to see what map Eternal Blue is going to take us to and if they can stay alive in this series. So stick around. You won't want to miss that. Welcome back, everybody. We've got hopefully a good series here as Eternal Blue has continued to look better. You know, on the last map of Midtown, they kind of got bullied on their attack. They looked good on the defense though, and their next map pick here, which they got, is gonna be New Junk City. So, what are you thinking for New Junk City? I know they want to run, they like the rush, but it just hasn't worked out for them here.
Yeah, unfortunately it hasn't worked out quite so far, but the good news is that Flashpoint maps especially are so big with Lucio that, you know, the rush might still work. They can still play that Rhine Brawl, maybe get back on their feet here. You know, you might see some quirky stuff. I have in some scrims, some like Junkrat, some Ramatra even. Honestly, I'd love to see that. I don't think we're going to see that. But for the very first Flashpoint we're going to see on stream, I'm pretty excited to see what these two teams are cooking on.
Yeah, and I mean, in theory, the rush can work. I don't hate the rush here on New Junk. I don't know. It just has felt like Frost Nova has been, you know, a step ahead of everything Eternal Blue has done so far, with the exception of the attack that they had on Midtown. So what I'm looking for is, actually, we lied to you, and well, actually we didn't lie to you. We were just fed false information, and we told you what we thought was true. Third map's going to be Servasa, which is better. I like Servasa better.
It's definitely the much nicer looking map. I absolutely love a lot of these. But Servasa just takes the cake compared to New York City, or New Junk City, my apologies. In my opinion, it looks a lot nicer. I feel like it plays much better. Everything stands out, like each point stands out much more from each other. But I'm excited to see what each team cooks on this map.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a substitution here. For Eternal Blue, it will be Water coming into the game for, I believe, Psy. So maybe they want to do something a little bit different here on Servasa, as the you know, they're going to need something to get this fire going.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Very cute fire water pun. Let's see what these two teams. I know
Definitely.
you did. You definitely did.
Meant to do that. Yeah.
I'm not saying that I believe we're going to see the fire come out from water. It would be an absolute treat. You do still see the Sigma with the Lucio on both sides here. See a little bit of a difference possibly between Yeti running on that Sojourn versus the Bastion and Genji coming out from Frost Nova. Interested to see. Oh, making some final switches. There we go.
So it'll be Sigma Poke / Lucio Rush hybrids that we've been seeing all day. So nothing too surprising here. Water picking up on the Bastion here, coming in for Psy. And it'll actually be Fard that finds the first pick here. Has played so well on every tank, or I guess both of the tanks they played today. The Sigma and the Reinhardt has looked very good. Lost Sauce trying to come back as fast as possible. But it will be Frost Nova taking the first flip and Fard taking more and more.
Oh my gosh.
That's 3 for Fard, and make that 4! Make that 5!
Oh my gosh. Fard just absolutely cleaning house. Every single name credit. He deserves it. And it's really unfortunate because especially when you see staggers on Flashpoint, even losing out on 10 seconds can mean you lose an entire extra fight. When you only get 2 to 3 fights per point, that is so punishing.
Yeah, and here we go once again. Eternal Blue trying to take a fight here. this will be close to the last one that they can pull here on Market. But without water, it's going to be a difficult task ahead of them, as Fard is in the back line and everybody is falling over, and it's just too much pressure from Frost Nova, and Frost Nova are going to take the first point on Market.
Yeah. Again, they only had 2 fights there, so you can see how quickly these points are going to be going from one to the other. Unfortunately, Eternal Blue, they lost the coin flip, so now they're going to have to travel a bit further than they probably would have liked to. But Frost Nova are able to get there first. Arsene is a little bit behind the rest of the team, but they're kind of getting all back together now. See a little bit of an ult advantage for Frost Nova coming in here.
And here we go on Ruins. I mean, Hatter got pretty low there in the back, was able to escape with their life. And the window coming out from Op Freeze is going to help take down Momo, but the Flux is canceled by Colossus. The blade is popped by Hatter. Not gonna find a pick. 15 HP and a Dreamy Yeti cleans it up on the coast there. And Eternal Blue looking pretty good here going into Ruins.
That is really huge. That rock from Colossus really saving that entire team fight. They're able to get this early positioning. They can play forward if they want to. They can play bunker if they want to. Looks like they're opting for the second tier, but they do still have some really impactful ults to try to keep this point under control.
And here is the window from Mimi. Trying the attempt to counter it out will be from Colossus, but finding nothing with the Flux. Did get the beat out from Momo, and Fard with 2 off the rip here. You don't need the Flux to get a kill, as Arsene is coming in and cleaning up all of the damage. Yeti so low, will eventually fall, as Arsene and Fard are cleaning house right now. But they did, Eternal Blue got a pretty sizable percentage here. They only need 1 fight to take Ruins.
Yeah, even just a single pick here can mean the absolute difference to make sure that Eternal Blue can take this next point. So if they're able to get like a single pick, even just bring something like the Sojourn or force out the Lamp really early, that would be absolutely huge trying to get into this next fight and get into this win at this point.
Yeah, and Frost Nova now at 45, almost 50% now. There are the only ultimate on the board right now is Waters, and that is what you want to see. Yeti taking down Hatter. Fard having to use the grasp to stay alive, goes down. It's just too much pressure, and everybody from the side of Eternal Blue finding these picks, and that is going to be the win on Ruins here for Eternal Blue. We'll see where this next point is going to be. It does look like it's going to be Palace.
That was absolutely huge for Eternal Blue. That keeps them in the running, keeps Frost Nova off of match point especially. And they still have a lot of ults coming up here that they didn't need to use, and that is absolutely massive to try to win this first fight in Palace.
And Fard here. I mean, Frost Nova did get to this point a lot faster than Eternal Blue, and Hatter gonna cut through Lost Sauce there. That Lucio no longer in the game, as without the Lucio, the rest of Eternal Blue just is falling over. So they're just gonna decide to get out here, and smartly so. And Frost Nova gonna take the first flip here. Both teams building up to about 4 ultimates.
Yeah, good news, they didn't use a single one of the ults that they were doing. Bad news, they did lose that first point. It could be close to 35-40 before they're even able to start getting close to taking the point. They're trying to find a way to get in here, figure out who to pick off. It looks like they're going all the way around the side, possibly. Yep, trying to get that long angle for the Sojourn with the window.
Here's the window and a monster Flux from Ford, and now the beat gonna come out for Lost Sauce, and it's gonna be good enough to keep Eternal Blue in the fight as Yeti finds 3, and it's just far to getting staggered out here. I mean, this is perfectly played by Frost Nova, or sorry, Eternal Blue. Stagger out Fard for another, 5-6 seconds. That's painful for Frost Nova.
Yeah, they played that fight really well. They got into a far high ground where they weren't going to be able to get cleaved by so much of this AoE damage that Frost Nova has. They were able to get Sojourn on a really nice high ground with a window, pick off so many people early. And Frost Nova used 3 ults to even just lose that fight, which is really huge for Eternal Blue to keep this momentum.
Yes. I mean, Eternal Blue has a really, really good position here, but it's going to be Arsene that's going to try to start us off. Flux comes out from Colossus. I couldn't see how many it hit there. Momo's beat did get used, though. The trade on to water will be there as Yeti finds 2 with the rail shots, and Mimi such low HP. Yeti with a 3rd, and now it's going to be Eternal Blue taking us to just about map. Well, I say that Fard able to take down Op Freeze, and with that it should be a win there for Eternal Blue. And they're going to take us to map point here on Servasa.
I was worried for a second there. I'm not going to lie. I was worried just for a second for Eternal Blue, but they were able to clutch it up. They lost Colossus. Lost Sauce hit a wonderful boop in the middle of that, split the team in half, and was able to make sure that they were able to pick off everyone so much easier. Because that is the good part about this comp, is you have a lot of good AoE, which is really helpful when you're all together trying to get into one location. But if you're losing your Sigma off to one side, suddenly you don't have a lot of that protection.
Getting into this first fight here on Temple, a rock goes out, hits Lost Sauce on the cross there. But it's going to be Hatter that starts us off, and that's a boot from Lost Sauce onto Fard! Fard going into the drink there. And, I mean, Lost Sauce, man.
Oh my
gosh. With 2 boops in the fight, gonna secure the point and almost 50% before Frost Nova is going to be able to come back.
This is what I was talking about earlier in the cast. Lost Sauce, he was a rule star last season. He's coming up here. He is pulling off massive hero plays, massive environmental kills too. And oh my gosh, it's just such a wonder to see him. He has great mechanics going into this. And you see the Bastional coming out from water. Oh
Water!
My gosh.
Water with 2 on the airstrike. The overclock out from Yeti. Gonna find 2 of their own. And this is dire. The side of Frost Nova here on Servasa. They can stagger out Fard. They're gonna get it. And the window comes out from Mimi.
Mimi,
and everybody
please.
from the side of Eternal Blue is just gonna walk away from it. And are they gonna be able to touch? The answer is no! Eternal Blue takes Servasa and stays alive in the series.
I gotta tell you, man, I don't think I've ever seen so many Bastionals get so much value. We've seen double kills, triple kills even, this match, just from Bastionals alone. But oh my gosh, Yeti was pulling out some hero plays, finishing out the full house on the last point. This wonderful 3K. Oh my gosh.
I mean, just everybody from the side of Eternal Blue there played so well. I mean, we can talk about I mean, Lost Sauce at the end, right? That was chef's kiss Lucio play for Lost Sauce. And I mean, everybody, Yeti playing super well on the Sojourn, Water finding pick after pick on the Bastion, Colossus, beautiful fluxes, beautiful picks, and Op Freeze and Lost Sauce holding it down on the backline. Lost Sauce making plays, Op Freeze, not as flashy as Lost Sauce, on the Baptiste, but you don't need to be flashy on the Baptiste. you just need to do your job. And OpFreeze is doing that perfectly. And I mean, that's what's going to cost Frost Nova a map here. And Eternal Blue going to stay alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's wonderful to see that we have a full-on series on our hands. We're not just getting 3 points in a row for one team. Again, I'm just getting lost in the sauce. He's just performing so well. And that's exactly what you want to see. They weren't playing the full Rhine Rush, but they were playing that Lucio, which got them so many extra fights on Flashpoint that you definitely wouldn't have gotten otherwise. He was just performing absolute miracles out there, almost like the Mighty Ducks. Like, it was just fantastic seeing him skidding around, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was just great from Eternal Blue, but are they going to be able to keep this momentum going into Frost Nova's map pick here on Push? It will be Esperanza, and I mean, Esperanza, you could run basically whatever you want. I mean, the Reinhardt, the Sigma, a Winston or Diva dive. We haven't seen that today, so I don't expect it, but you could. So, I mean, I'm interested to see how's Nova going to respond. Are they going to, my money is that they're probably going to come out on the Sigma once again.
Unfortunately, I think that's probably what they're going to run out on too. I would absolutely love to see a Zarya comp, a Queen comp, even a Rhine comp as well. You can run even the Winston dive is really good. Sombra is very strong on this map as well. I really want to see what these teams can pull out. Maybe some sort of pocket pick. Might still see some of the same thing. Not quite sure yet, but oh yeah. Boy.
We got a little bit of a spoiler here. Fard was hovering the Sigma for a second. So, as we thought, I mean, Frost Nova and Fard are all going to be coming out on that Sigma poke, but I'm interested to see is Eternal Blue, are they going to come out on something, a little more creative? I'd be happy to see the Reinhardt come back out here if they wanted to do that. The Symmetra could get you just about everywhere you want to go, but it is going to be a Sigma mirror here. Well, I say mirror. There's only 2 characters that are in common between the 2 teams right now, but they're still in spawn. But Frost Nova, Sigma, Symmetra, so, that could be pretty dangerous.
It could absolutely be pretty dangerous. You're seeing a lot of changes last minute. I would absolutely love to see Lost Sauce trying to cook with the Lifeweaver, but he's going to give us Lucio instead. Still a treat to watch. And you're going to see almost exact mirror comps. Again, Frost Nova have the Symmetra, so they're going to be able to get in position much quicker, take much more aggressive angles if they want to. Eternal Blue are going to still be trying to play for that poke. You have Yeti on that back high ground. That's exactly where you want your Sojourn. Just trying to cook up charge to be able to get a really clean rail shot and hopefully be able to start the fight off massively in your favor with a pick.
And I mean, everybody from Eternal Blue just taking so much damage, but great support from OpFreeze and Lost Sauce to keep the team up and alive here. As, I mean, Fard is in no man's land at the moment, joined by Momo. But everybody on the side of Eternal Blue is so low that they just have to back out here. And I mean, still no picks thus far from either team, as you see Lost Sauce there trying to get a little bit silly on the Lucio character and, find those boops off the high ground. Now, though, Eternal Blue coming out here as OpFreeze has the window already and pops it here. Gonna deal a lot of damage to everybody that wants to step in front of it. Hatter and Far to go low, and it's gonna be a trade for the first picks here. Yeti and Hatter are going to go down first here. Eternal Blue does have a little bit of that bot push already, but still the fight is nowhere close to being done.
This is ridiculous. It's been over a minute and a half. You're only just now seeing Arsene die. He's the 3rd kill of this entire map. And it's almost 2 minutes into it. Hardly anyone has gone down. It's just been absolute poke fest non-stop. Just trying to get these good positions.
This is the kind of fight that you expect to see on Coliseo, not Esperanza. Like, the beat gonna come out from Lost Sauce, The Flux from Colossus gonna be good for one onto Fard, and finally we have a definitive winner in a fight here. It will be Eternal Blue looking to take the lead here on Esperanza, and what a fight that was.
I gotta say, it felt like my heart was just pounding just watching that. Everything was just not even on a knife, on the edge of a pin needle there. We're seeing early ults come out here.
The airstrike out from... Sorry? Okay, so we see the airstrike out there from water, and maybe gonna be a lot of damage there on to the Lucio, but able to get out there. Now Arsene's turn for the airstrike. Not gonna find a pick there either. So, you know, airstrike, cosmetic ultimate for the most part. Don't really expect a lot there, but the window with water gonna find a lot of damage, and the Flux comes out from Fard, gonna help take it down water, and Arsene with 2, and this should be the barrier going back in the way of Frost Nova as Fard continues to find these late picks, and Colossus is in no man's land, and OpFreeze, I just wish OpFreeze had gotten out.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but you're seeing a lot of Frost Nova reaping the rewards of that first long fight, where Fard was super far up in no man's land, like you said. But that results in him having a 70% ult charge advantage, where he had his ults up to win that fight, when Colossus was just at 30% because he wasn't able to charge it quite as fast. But now you see they're trying to focus down Fard as fast as possible, get him off the high ground, and try to claim this for the Sojourn, or sorry, now the Soldier.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if you noticed, but Yeti crossed right there and nobody saw it. I could see Yeti through the wall there. Switching over to the Sojourn, but who else but Fard? Gonna find 2 to start us out here. And, I mean, a beautiful play there from the Sigma. And, I mean, with just Colossus left on the bot, not much else that you can hope for. You just gotta die there if you're Colossus.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for Eternal Blue, Frost Nova was able to get a checkpoint before the fight. So they were able to sit out the entire butt scratch moment while they were fighting and cleaning it up. And that just means that the bots were ready to go right again, already making even more of an advantage going into this, just about halfway through the map.
Yeah, and now we'll see Frost Nova backing up here, TPing out on it to the high ground, and the window going to come out from Mimi, and it will be enough to push Eternal Blue back for just a little bit, but not forever, as it has faded away, and Eternal Blue are taking the advantage here on to the high ground. Yeti on the flank through the wall. The Immortality Field gonna come out to save Arsene's life as Fard takes down OpFreeze, and it's just not looking good for Frost Nova, or for Eternal Blue, as Frost Nova is inching that bot forward more and more, and more we see the staggers coming out.
Yeah, they had a really solid game plan from Frost Nova there. You saw they have a massive advantage. They don't have to keep pushing. So when they do, they backed off, went into a really solid position so that they had a massive high ground. And no matter what Eternal Blue tried to do during that last fight, it was just so hard for them to be able to contest that. And they couldn't get the bot forward, and they had to go around. They lost time, they lost the fight. But now they have the advantage, they're rolling it back.
Yeah, that was a great flux by Colossus, unfortunately. Momo's beat hit everybody, as did the, as to keep everybody alive there, because I would have done a lot of damage without it. But now Yeti's gone down, and the issue is now once again being pressed by Frost Nova, and Arsene through the window! Going yard to hit Lost Sauce and OpFreeze with the nade! And the bot continues to move for Frost Nova.
Oh my goodness, man. This has just been utter dominance on this map from Frost Nova. They're playing it exactly how they want to. Eternal Blue is playing right into their hands. And they're trying to make this last fight count.
Now we're gonna see the tactical visor and the airstrike come out from the DPS line of Eternal Blue. The airstrike comes out from Arsene as well, but not gonna find anything there as it is just Fard and Arsene left alive. And with that, finally, I mean, Frost Nova losing a fight and Eternal Blue hoping that they can, you know, get the push that they need, but I mean, they're at a massive disadvantage right now.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate. They are rocking up with one more ult. They have the window left. Hopefully they can get some early pressure and early pick before Hatter's Symmetra is able to get a wall and completely neutralize it. Well, it looks like they might be caught in a corner here.
A window comes out from Op Freeze, and Yeti gonna be able to find the pick on to Mimi here. A beautiful first pick. Most of the healing is now gone for Frost Nova as Momo had 6 HP left, able to get around the corner and hide as Yeti, under a lot of pressure by Arsene, has to use the legs and will not be able to get away as Arsene finds the stick with the nade on to Yeti, but they're still at a disadvantage right now for Frost Nova.
Yeah, you can definitely see that, but they are rocking up. If Colossus is able to pull out a strong flux before Momo is able to get that beat off, like right that could be absolutely huge. But the lamp comes out, able to save Fard, and he counterattacks, and the nail has to be invested.
That was a great immortality field for the side of Frost Nova. Mimi did go down there, but it's, you know, it's already over. The fight's already done before Mimi goes down, and now Frost Nova getting it back a little bit. Probably just want to get to the checkpoint and then walk away. You don't need to push it anymore at 30 seconds.
30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, exactly. Frost Nova's been playing this really well. They haven't been pushing when they don't need to. They're making these last fights as long as possible, even if they stagger themselves. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, worst case scenario here for Eternal Blue. Yeti goes down way before the fight starts. The window comes out from Mimi on the high ground. Eternal Blue are already on the other side of the wall, and the touch is there, but Colossus does not have any cooldowns and will go down as the universe is singing to him. And they're singing the praises of Frost Nova as they take the series 3-1 to move up to 5-1 on the season.
Really, really excellent play from Frost Nova here. You know, they had 2 maps where it looked pretty close, but this one was absolutely fantastically played. They were in control from the very start. They knew how they wanted to play it, and they played it pretty much to perfection here. And it was just an absolute magnificence to watch.
Yeah, and here is our map set as we're going to see it 3-1 towards Frost Nova. You know, Eternal Blue looking very, very good on Midtown and Servasa. Specifically the defense of Midtown, the attack, you know, questionable. They kind of got rolled over on Lijiang Tower going into Frost Nova there with the Reinhardt. So, I mean, you know, they looked better throughout the series. I will give them that. So, you know, moving forward in this season as they fall to 3-3, you know, I do think that Eternal Blue can definitely look better as they got better as time went on. As here is OBSAquarium, the 3 of Doors fish, you know, graciously helping us with observing tonight.
Absolutely, they were just master classes in this performance here. These fish, they know exactly what they want to do. They want that food. You can see a little smudge on the glass. Hopefully that gets cleaned up later. But they're really excited. They're really happy with that match. just look at them go. They cannot hold still after watching.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't blame them. It was a great match. Um, and I think Frost Nova continuing on in this series, or not series, but season. They sound similar, so my brain kind of farted. But going forward in the season, I do genuinely believe Frost Nova is, one of the favorites to take the Transcendence tier. And Eternal Blue made some noise, but I do think that they have some stuff they need to work on.
Yeah, Eternal Blue, they put up a good fight for some of the maps, but you can see just how strong Frost Nova has been right now. Like you said, they're going up to 5-1. Just absolutely clean performance from them. I can't wait to see how they do against some of these other teams that they haven't quite faced yet. But I think I'm going to be really excited to watch them going forwards here.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's nothing left for us to watch tonight. So it will be Frost Nova taking the series 3-1 over Eternal Blue in what was actually a really good series. So you know what? I'm not mad about how this game went. But that will do it for us tonight here on Tranquility. I don't know if our B stream is still going. It doesn't. No, we don't. We never had one. I think.
Unfortunately, we did not have one.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank everyone that came and joined us for watching, and come back tomorrow for some more Tranquility action. Good night, everyone.
Good night.